Well, good morning everybody, and as you may hear, we've got quite a windy day here today. Things are blowing about, the trees are going mad. It's that time of year. Just look at all them leaves already coming into the yard. This is the time of year drives me mental, because I go round with the leaf collector and within a day it's as bad again. So when you think all that lot up there, all these I've got to look forward to coming in here. But there you go. That's the forfeit of having trees around your property, but there you go. It's not too bad at all here today heat wise. It's quite warm out here. So what I want to do is get my vac out. I won't video it, you've seen me do it loads of times. This will be the final clean out before the winter. I'm expecting to have to put my pond covers on sort of Thursday or Friday this week. They reckon it's coming cooler, so I think that's when I'm going to be getting them on. I did have a visit yesterday from my mate Steve from Cat and I Koi. He popped in to see me just for a cup of tea, and he brought me this. He made me a bird box, bless him. It's brilliant. Absolutely excellent. So thanks for that one, Steve. Really appreciated, mate. And it sits up there, so let's hope we get some action in that one this year. Pond wise, I hope the wind's not bothering us too much, because it is quite windy. I'm going to whip my net off now and let's see if we can get a good clean out on the pond. As you can see with the ripples on the pond, it's quite windy here today, but all's good, everything's fine. I'm waiting for some builder's polythene, because I want to polythene down where the struts are across the back. I want to polythene down from there to the floor, help keep a bit of heat in on that side there. So I'm going to get my vac out and do my winter clean. This is the last one before we shut the pond down for winter. I have got the pond temperature at 16, I'm holding it at 16 at the moment. So I'll get that out and get on with that and get it done. We've got a temperature of nearly 20, just under 20, about 19 degrees here today. So not too bad at all. Everything's running well in the filter house. All's going well at the moment. Protein skimmer's working away. The fan's working on my air pumps. That just keeps them cool because they're so close and tucked away in that corner. I think that they tend to run warmer than they really would do normally. But the fan keeps them nice and cool, so that's not a problem. As you can probably see, I've got a temperature of 16.4 in the pond, so the koi should be quite alright at that. But everything else is going fine. No problems at all really in here. All's working well. I did actually get myself some Medikoi, wheat germ and garlic. I know I heat my pond, but I still like to give them the wheat germ during the winter. It is that little bit easier for them to digest, and the garlic is supposed to help to avoid a parasite epidemic, so I do get that, feed them. I shall feed them both actually. They'll get normal food and that as well. And just to let you guys know, the plans for the actual upflow filter and protein skimmer are on my website now. You can actually get a combination of the two in one set, or you can actually get them separate, but the plans are on my website if anybody's interested on how to make the upflow filter or the protein skimmer. Well, there we go guys, that's my last winter pond vaccing out. Now it all depends on the weather as to when the covers go on, but that's all that done. So thank goodness for that. They're just having a few mealworms at the moment. But yeah, that's got that done. Did get quite a bit out. Again, blooming algae. I think I might treat it over the winter. See if I can knock it back some. With my pond not dropping in temperature, it's not too bad. But the wind's still blowing. It doesn't seem to give it up. Okay, that's it. That's me going in for some tea now. So I'll catch you guys later. Well, good morning everybody. So today's the day, the covers are going on. Don't be fooled, it's a sunny day here today, but boy it is cold out here. Anyway, let's get on with these covers. I've got to take all my fencing off. I'm going to remove all that first, and then we shall start putting the covers on. So I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, all the fencing is now off, so now to start fitting the covers. So here we go. Well, there we go, and I have to say that is a job I take no pleasure in whatsoever. I hate it, having to shut the pond down like that, but there's no lot we can do about it. Got to look after them. I have made one slight modification, I'll show you. I've made it easier to get a look at the fish. It's surprising what a couple of hinges will do. Now what I've got is, you can see it just down there. What I've got is some builder's polythene. I'm going to go along the back edge now and make sure that's sealed off. The bushes do a good job, but I'm just going to make sure. So I'll do that next, and then we should nearly be there. Well, it's getting quite late here now. I've got that one flipped open so you can see the wind's getting up as well. Boy, it is cold. But down the back there, over the top, I've got it all covered in this year with the actual builder's polythene, which is here. So I've got it really sealed well this year, which it needs as we're heating. But they're all in there, they seem okay with it. They're not too worried. And that'll keep them nice and snug all winter, hopefully. It's all the way down. And all sealed. Quite pleased with that. That should keep them nice and warm. It's just a shame I didn't get the 16mm polycarbonate sheets, but I left it too late. This is actually getting quite brittle, so it definitely wants replacing. But that's for next year. Well, good afternoon everybody, and what I'm doing at the moment is a job I've been wanting to do for blooming ages and never got round to it. All last winter I wanted to do this, but never got round to it. But I'm insulating the door, which I really should have done last year. Now, for anybody, I mean most of you out there will know, but anybody who doesn't, the best way or the best thing to use for polystyrene and cutting it is a bread knife. That's the best thing you can use for it, and you can actually cut real thin slivers if you need it. If you look at this top piece on here, you can see the gap under that. Well, I shall fill that in with a thin sliver. I didn't cut that actually, that was a piece I had left over from the last time, and I've made it fit as best I can. But it still wants a thin sliver underneath it, so I shall cut one of them. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But what I've got is, I've got it on top of my moving bed, and what I'm going to do, I want that corner off. I'm using an actual door bar. You want something metal really, or a nice piece of wood that will keep you straight, keep you on the straight and narrow, and I'll show you how I cut it. Okay, like I've said, most of you will know how to do this, but just a bread knife, ordinary bread knife, get your straight edge where you want it, and just slow, small strokes as you go through. And there you go, and that's got it cut off. We'll leave you a few little bits underneath which you can just pick off under there. Just pull them off. You want a good hoover up afterwards, but just pick them bits off, and there we go. And that's the piece cut, ready to go into the door. I should have actually shown you a top piece, it would have been easier to video, but I didn't think about it till I got this far. Now this is the piece we've just cut, this is where it's going, in here, like so. I'm just going to try it before I do it, and it fits perfect. So all I've got to do now, glue it into position. So I'll whip that out and we'll get some glue on the door. Okay, what I'm using is this pink grip. It is for sticking polystyrene. Now what I want to do first is just put that back a minute. Just put that into there, because I want to know where I don't want my glue. Basically, I don't want to glue up what I'm not ready for. So I've got my pen and I'm just going to mark it up here. So that's as far that way as I want to come, and across the top. So now I know where I need my glue. So now we shall get the glue. Just take that out a moment. Now I've got the glue and I'm just going to put it where this is going to go. So we'll squeeze it on. If I can do this left-handed, because the camera's in the way, I can't do it right-handed. But we'll just put the glue on down to the pen line, up that way, across the bottom. Like so. And I'm just going to put some lines across of glue, like so. Like that. So now we can put our piece of polystyrene in where it should be. Just so it's a nice fit under there. Now I just want to lever it to the right slightly if I can, just to make sure it doesn't chafe up that back edge of the door. So I'm going to slip my knife in and just lever it that way slightly, just to give it a little bit of room where the door closes, and then give it a good push down. Push it all down well. Across the middle. Like so. Make sure you don't dent your polystyrene, else it won't look much. And that should be that. Glued. So now we can move on to the little bit down there and a little bit in the top corner. So I'll get them done. Okay, now like I said, I want a thin sliver to go in that little bit at the top that doesn't fit that well. So I've laid my straight edge on it where I want it. Just going along the top, only little cuts up and down. Don't try pushing the knife through it, let it cut it at its own pace. And go down once more. And there we go. It wasn't quite level, so I've had to cut it beveled because it's thicker one end than the middle, but that's the piece I'm going to put in there. Just show you the gap before I do it. That's that end there. I've got a little bit more to put in there, but I'll do that separate. But that's the bit I'm going to fill in, and I'll show you it when I've got it in there. And there you go, just filled in nicely along there. There was a bit of a black line on it which makes it look worse, but if you do it right you won't even see it. But there was a black line on it from the felt pen where it was cut last time. But now I've just got this bit to do, and that will have packed that out nicely. And there we go, one door fully insulated. That'll help keep the cold out. I'm quite pleased about that. I've been meaning to do that for ages and just never got around to it. But that's got that job done. Like I said at the beginning, a lot of you will know how to do this, but there's probably one or two out there that don't. I mean, people tend to use a Stanley knife, which doesn't work as well. And what you'll also find is that it'll keep a lot of the draft out as well. If you get it fitting nice and tight, it just rubs as you shut the door, just. So if you get it nice and tight, it'll keep a lot of the draft out and a lot of the cold air out as well, because these doors don't fit that well. So it'll help with that as well. And hopefully make the filled house even warmer. But what you do need is the vacuum cleaner to clear all this mess up now. So I'm going to get all this hoovered up and cleaned up, and then we're done. There you go, look, I cleaned all the leaves up with the leaf collector yesterday afternoon, and it's as bad again this morning. Don't you just love it? Now don't forget, you guys, if anybody wants one of these, an air source heat pump, give me a shout. These are one of the best on the market, I think. That's my personal opinion, but anybody wants one, give me a shout and I can help you out without a lot of problems. The blooming wind is really terrible here at the moment, so I hope that's not interfering too much. But don't forget, I can help sort you out. I'm a registered seller for heat pumps for pools. Give us a shout and I'll do what I can for you. Well, the wind's really blowing here now. It's getting terrible, but I'm going to wind this video up. It's only a short one, there's not a lot more I can do at the moment. The builders are still making a noise, as you can hear. But there's not a lot I can do at the minute now the covers are on. But I've got most of my jobs caught up now. So that'll be it for this one. So all that's left to say is thanks for watching. You all take care and happy ponding.